What's up, YouTube? In today's video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. And today, I brought a guest on. His name's Toanee, as you can see right here. He's currently top 5K in the world, although he hasn't really pushed yet. But as you can see, last season, he finished 212 in the world. He's got 20 win badge. But not only does he have both badges, he did it 7 times. So he's very qualified here. He's going to be playing in like top ladders. I don't exactly remember where, but top 1K-ish, top 2K. He's going to be using this deck down here. Balloon, Lavahound, Freeze. He's a god with it. All right, so I forgot to record a proper intro when I was recording with him. But nevertheless, that's Toanee. Incredible player. Let's hop into the video. What's up, YouTube? Today, we've got a Lavaloon freeze deck. It's kind of toxic, but it's absolutely beautiful when you're on the giving end of toxicity. So, hey, today I'm joined here with my good pal, Toanee. Feel free to introduce yourself and talk through this deck. What's it all about?
Okay. Yes, I am Toanee. But this deck, it's brute force. To put it simply, it's brute force. You got really good defensive units that'll let you defend for cheap while still dishing out a ton of damage on offense with the classic combo of Lavaloon, and then obviously the freeze just to complement that a little more. So yeah, you got some really good defensive units in like the Baby Dragon, Inferno Dragon, Barbs. You know, these are all really good defensive cards. But in this matchup, this first one, I actually had a pretty bad starting hand. Because, well, quite frankly, I didn't have anything I could cycle. And on this first defense, I didn't defend it very well because with this deck, you're going to want to take a lot of damage and just kind of sack towers. You'll see I do it a lot. But, so yeah, you wanna take a lot of damage. You don't obviously want to, but you should be willing to take a lot of damage while focusing more on the offensive side. So there's a lot
Power
of
trades and 3 crowns.
Yeah, and especially against like a deck like Graveyard, I would be completely fine trading a tower with him because obviously then I have the King Tower to help support against the Graveyard push. But in this case, we definitely did not trade towers. I'm down, I'm down $2,000 about, you know, just because I've only done 1,500. So we're behind early, but this is a very good deck in Double Elixir because you have the NATO Freeze combo, and with Baby Dragon, you can take out big pushes. So in this push, it's a decent Inferno Dragon with the Bar Barrel. You know, we're trying to get some damage. We got to make sure that we take this tower, obviously, but we don't need to take it quite yet. We're not at the code red. We're gonna lose if we don't take it right now. So we can play a little more passive. Obviously, with that freeze, get the pups a little damage. Before the pups nerf, that obviously would have done a little more, but well, nothing we can do at this point. So.
Do you think that the most recent Lavahound update was how big of a nerf was it?
It was a pretty big nerf. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, it's a buff, all this." You know, Lavahound hits further now. He's better. But the thing is, or she, sorry, didn't mean to assume gender. But the problem with the fact that she shoots further is the pups don't get to the tower as fast. The pups move very slowly. And quite frankly, they don't get to the tower a lot of the time because of it. So they'll like go to like get up, but they're like go and attack the tower, but they spawn so far away. Because 3.5 tiles is a lot of range, and so they don't get there a lot of the time. But yeah, in this replay, I do screw up this Bar Barrel here. Luckily, this NATO is pretty decent, kills all the skellies, helps kill the bowler that we don't lose right there. I actually hounded. That was a pretty bad hound because I didn't realize that his King Tower was so low, and if I had, I would have gone for 3. But it's okay. We're still in this. We're not dead. That's the biggest thing, is that we still have a chance to win. And I think I'm gonna reset here with the or no, I gotta defend. Yeah, because he's got Graveyard. So it's not looking good, obviously, because you know he's got these support units coming in. And, well, quite frankly, my hand, I don't have Inferno Dragon anywhere, and that's my biggest counter, like this Baby Dragon and stuff. But luckily, this NATO here, it'll get that Knight out of the way, that my tower will reset, and then help with the skeletons. Knight doesn't matter on my King Tower. But at this point, we're actually looking very good now, because his only unit in his hand is Ewiz. And he only has one, obviously, air attacking unit. And that way I can just rush him on 3, and he had to just defend the left tower, meaning he has almost no elixir. And then with a freeze, the Loon freeze combo is another strong one. I can 3 crown him with pretty good fashion after defending that Graveyard push on my tower.
That was absolutely beautiful. That was a good way to finish it. All right, hey, let's hop into the next one. All right, here we are, game 2. This matchup's against Giant Double Prince, which, from what I understand, is not that great of a matchup for you, Tony. What do you think on that?
No, 100%. This is not a good matchup for me. And literally right out of the gate, you can see why. He Dark Princed against that one single barb, and I already had to use my Barbarians on defense split, which is not ever a good time to use them. I mean, it works, but it's just, it doesn't feel good to use your only ground unit that early in the game, especially against a double Prince deck. So, for example, you'll see here, I think I have to freeze this Prince. Or no, I don't. I have to tank it because I have to defend both sides. And literally just that one Prince, just alone charging, already has brought my tower over half health. And so you can see right there why this matchup's terrible. If he plays aggressive, I just can't defend. Especially because he's got the Zap for the Inferno Dragon. He's got the Swarm for the Inferno Dragon. And then he's obviously his main thing he's got going is the Giant and the Double Princes that are just very hard to defend with only barbs on the ground. So my main thing that I'm going to try to do this game is I'm going to be in his face. I'm going to be attacking, really playing aggressive, tower trading, like literally right here. We just let that tower go. 6 elixir. I could have defended with barbs, could have defended with Baby Dragon, but I didn't because I need to play aggressive. Put the pressure on him, keep his hand out of cycle, keep him from gianting, not let him prince, just all that. So we're obviously going to take this tower as he only had Spear Gobs in hand there. But you'll see, I Baby Dragon here. I keep the pressure on. I don't let him giant in the back or prince in the back. I keep it going. Or he will prince in the back, but he's not going to be able to support the prince because of that Baby Dragon now. So I can just Inferno Dragon in the back, clean it up. He is still forced to defend, while I can already start on my next push.
So it sounds like you don't want to let him get the giant down, because once he gets the giant down, that's when you're in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, he's played one giant. I think he plays one giant this entire game, and that's really the main thing I gotta do is just not let him giant. And then once again, good NATOs, just keep my Inferno Dragon alive because Inferno Dragon's a very scary threat. He really doesn't have a ton for it. He can like distract it easily, but on defense, it's pretty hard to stop. So my main thing is just keep the pressure on him, keep attacking. See, I just keep playing stuff in the pocket, and with his lack of air units, there's not much he can do. And then obviously, here's the freeze. That's the entire point right there. Now, my Inferno Dragon only lived for like a second more. But in that 1 second, it literally got a grand of damage out. And then at this point, we can just defend with barbs, NATO, and there's really nothing he can do. So we got him. We made sure we were always in his face, always playing aggressive, keeping the pressure on him. And with that, will beat this pretty hard counter, in my opinion. So, yep. And then
good stuff.
Just go down.
2, 1,
so you'll see a lot with this deck. Yeah, a lot with this deck. I'm just gonna go really aggressive. Keep the pressure on. A lot of 3 crowns. Just keep it pedal to the metal. You know, keep going. Don't let them get their push going.
I like it. Stay on the offense. All right, here let's see if you do that again in game 3 now. All right, here we are at match 3. Your starting hand kind of looks like shit. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so that's a big issue with this deck is the fact that there's only really 2 good cards, like starting hand wise, that I will do. Or like I'll start the game if I have Hound in my hand or Barbarian in my hand. Anything else, I almost always will wait till around 2 minutes, sometimes a little later. But this deck is pretty good in double elixir, so I don't mind waiting. But if I have Hound or Barbarian, I will go for it. But yeah, the main issue is just the fact that you have a lot of defensive units that are good for one thing, and if you use them, then they like for example, if you Inferno Dragon on the right, and then they Golem on the left, you're already in like a terrible position. But
this was an interesting play. Night Witch at the bridge, followed by Graver. That's interesting.
The problem with him was I don't know. I can't say for sure. But it was actually, it'll do decently against lava, like that, because I think he realized I don't have poison. I think he thinks that I have arrows lava and not poison, and so that's why he did that, because if I have poison, that's a very, very bad play. But in this case, he only has archers, fireball, night witch, I think for offense, and then like arrows, but that really doesn't do much. And so I can play very aggressively in this matchup and just kind of steamroll him with very light defense. And you're going to see my defensive units that I've talked about do their job very well. Like, for example, I will counter like 10 elixir for 5 with barbs and just stuff like that. And I'll just keep playing aggressive because I know he only has those archers while I have a lot of air. I have 4 air units, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, but half a deck of air is actually a ton. And actually, that graveyard was really bad on his part. I'm not really sure what he was thinking with
He
it.
actually just burned a fireball up top there when he could have fireballed and got the value on your barbs there. He could hit the tower, kill all your barbs, but he had to do it defensively. I didn't see if it was like a panic, but clearly I don't know if that was the play or not.
I mean, the only problem is this deck. Like, I had Baby Dragon in all my pups, and he honestly he should have arrowed. I don't know what he was doing, but at this point, I think he gave up. I don't know what he was doing with his graveyard. He realized he was screwed.
Yeah, he just said good luck, and that was it.
Yeah, with only archers and Night Witch, I mean, there's really nothing you can do. You can't blame this guy. This is just a terrible matchup, and this is the whole point of the deck. Is it just steamrolls, and it's really easy to 3-crown people if they don't have the necessary counters to your Lavaloon push.
And then you hit him with the freeze at the end just for good measure, just to put the nail in the coffin. I love it. Absolutely love it. All right, so this next match we got against the common Pekka bridge spam deck. You see this everywhere. It's one of the best decks in the game, but I think this matchup's pretty favorable for us. What do you think?
Yeah, it's definitely it's leaning my way, but it's actually surprising because if I lose a tower early to something stupid, then I will be in trouble. For example, if he had like battle ran to the bridge and I had like freeze, bar barrel, NATO, hound, there's nothing I could have done. I would have lost half my tower right away. But in this situation, he placed it in the back. I had barbs in hand. It was all good. He poisoned. We went up 3 elixirs. So in this deck, once again, just very aggressive. I don't believe I tower traded all here because you don't want to do that against Pekka just because you can defend so easily. And actually, I bait out an Ewiz here, I believe, with an Inferno Dragon placed so that it won't reset. So yeah, it just hits my my Baby Dragon here, and then that way we can full counter. We're looking great. He's out of elixir. I'm up, I think, 5, along with like a 900 damage lead. So mainly against this Pekka deck, you want to play very slow, get to double elixir. Once you hit double elixir, you can steamroll. I think I'm gonna freeze here because yeah, I realized he doesn't have anything.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And so we're just gonna lay on the damage, and that's the problem with these decks that have like 2 air units and a zap. Is if he poisons there, well, yeah, sure, he saves his tower, but he's down so much elixir. We're gonna steamroll in the other tower, and so I play very aggressively. Always hound into his Pekka so that you can just Inferno Dragon behind. And quite frankly, with barbs, there's really no way he can break through. Even this, which kind of looks scary, I'm gonna let it hit. It's not a big deal. I'll have such a big push coming back at him. There's nothing he's gonna be able to do. Okay. So we'll clean this up with the barbs. Those barbs are just such a strong defensive unit. I honestly, they're like one of the best in the game in my opinion. And at this point, we can just go aggressive, and he's.
How come you put the balloon kind of like on the inside of the bridge there as opposed to the outside?
The magic archer, I didn't want it to hit, and then and that was just the main thing, is play it off to the right. And like if he has a building, I'll never do that, but if he doesn't, I also didn't want him to E-Wiz both the Inferno Dragon and the balloon. I literally only wanted him to hit one, obviously, or like not get too much value out of it. So just off centering it a little bit, that way it doesn't get stuck behind the hound. There's just a bunch of things. It gets a clean route straight to the tower without really any interruptions like E-Wiz or magic archer.
Now, this guy, it looks like I don't know if he's making the right play here. It's looking like he's just doing the same thing he did last time, where he tries to push Pekka in the back and then tries to throw stuff behind it, which you handled just fine last time. So
yeah, the Pekka in the back, it's never going to work. In his situation, he needs to focus on Royal Ghost at the bridge, Bandit at the bridge, Battle Ram at the other bridge, keeping my barbs separated so that I can't get too much value. Because if he places everything together, I'll just barbs, and then he's screwed. But if he does like Bandit on the left, Royal Ghost on the right, well, in that case, I could barbs in the middle. But if he does like Battle Ram in one lane and then Bandit or Royal Ghost in the other, I'm not going to have a fun time defending.
So he needs to emphasize the bridge spam portion of Pekka bridge spam. He was trying to build these big pushes, which is just, you're trying to do the same thing and you push into each other and you're going to win that every time. So he needs to really focus on the bridge spam aspect, which he just didn't do. But regardless, good match, GG, easy claps.
In that matchup, he should never Pekka. If you place a Pekka once in that matchup, you've already screwed up.
And he did it like 3-4 times. Okay, well, hey, now we know. Viewers, you're learning something. Don't be Abu Lab. Don't be that guy. All right, now we're gonna do we're gonna mix in a couple live games here if we can, just to see how it's done in the moment. I don't know how good you are at talking through while you're playing. Do your best.
I'll
try and keep quiet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so here I have Hound. This deck is one of the ones that you will Hound first play. If you have it, call it no skill, call it whatever you want. It's just how it plays. So in this case, he once again giant goblin getting other bridge, 8 elixir. I spent 5 only to defend it. This is a either Sparky or Graveyard deck, so I'm gonna just literally Baby Dragon, and he's either gonna arrows it if it's Graveyard or Fireball it if it's Sparky. But I could have froze here, and maybe caught his arrows early, and that means that this is Graveyard with, I believe it is Goblin Gang. I don't remember the other cards. Oh no, well, there we go, 50-50
there
wrong.
goes
But
that.
Sparky, yeah, it's usually Graveyard usually runs arrows, Sparky usually runs Fireball. Now here we can defend really easily, honestly. Even if he giants or like minion hordes, no, this deck normally runs minion horde. I can just literally do freeze, and then I can NATO once that locks onto the giant. Go over there, and then they all die, and then I can just surround the Sparky with barbs. Ooh, how many died there? Uh-oh. Okay,
Too
so
many.
we're gonna take a hit. We screwed
Too
it up.
many.
But even after that sloppy defense, we're still winning because this deck like hits so hard. So I'm gonna probably tower trade here. I'm gonna hound. He'll what does he do? He might mini Pekka at the bridge, but does he have a card? I'm trying to think if he has one
Got
left.
one card that you haven't seen yet.
Gets mini Pekka, but I could be wrong, as I've already been wrong. Anyway, we'll probably just tower trade. He'll go giant at the bridge. I don't really, or not bridge, I guess, but back there. But literally, I'm just gonna NATO freeze, or not even freeze here. What the hell? Okay, so firecracker, and then we'll take out this minion horde, and then we're gonna lose a tower. It's not a big deal. We have barbs in hand, so we're gonna take one hit, but it's honestly, we're doing better than it looks because now we got a big counter push. And with there we go. Now he has minion horde, I think, in one card. So no, he has it. We're not counting right here. But he'll giant in the pocket here, so we could struggle with defending. With a NATO, we should be fine. And then a freeze right there. That way we catch both. And then we're just gonna play passive here. Against Sparky, you gotta be really careful. If you make a misplay, obviously it locks in your tower. It's not gonna go well. So we're just gonna play really passively, build up a push, keep him basically to a point where he's gonna really struggle defending, and try to catch his minion horde with a baby dragon is basically the entire point of what I'm gonna do here. So okay, well there you go. And then we can do this, and then NATO to predict these bats. There we go. And then the firecracker dies to the baby dragon or something. Please die. She
Almost.
died to a pup, but we get our drop.
Still got a drop though.
And main thing, we're just gonna do the exact same thing, and once again, there's nothing he can do here. And that's like the whole point is he just doesn't have an offense against what I'm gonna do. And even if he like giants, there's just nothing he can do.
He
So
knows.
this deck, occasionally you will go defensive. I know I emphasize the offense, which I'm gonna do here by just keeping him by keeping the pressure on here. So we're gonna freeze, we're gonna NATO, and then with that we should get a drop. If not, we can literally just do it again, but we don't need to. We get the drop. Yep. And so I realized like way through the game I had to play a lot more passive, which you'll sometimes have to do, especially against like really swarmy decks. You're just gonna have to play passive, keep your baby dragon in your hand, and just if you still like if you put a wall on their offense, then your counter pushes are gonna hit really hard.
Okay, makes sense. All right, good stuff. It's starting to come together. I'm starting to understand. All right, last match we got here. Lavahound first play, of course. Turn the brain off, throw the hound in the back. Here we go.
This is Pekka.
Pekka bridge spam?
Might be like a ram. Could be a Ram Rider also. That's the only other thing it could be here is Ram Rider. But odds are it's Pekka just because Pekka's like literally everywhere. Yeah, okay, well that's a nail in the coffin. So I'm just gonna NATO this to King. It's always nice to have King activated. He's gonna Pekka, yep. And then I can Inferno Dragon really far back, or not really, but just enough to make sure he can't E-Wiz. That's the main thing. If he E-Wiz is at the bridge, we need to make sure that it doesn't obviously hit our Inferno Dragon. I need that to die. That's great. And then this way I can freeze. It's gonna be a scary freeze because he's got Zap, but I feel like it's a good play because I kill the Magic Archer and force him into well actually I get some damage. I thought he was gonna Zap. Did I screw that up? Okay, no, we're good. But we got barbs here in just a second. Might be a little bit close. I think that's gonna connect, but we're gonna see. Yeah, so it does, but that's a bad zap. I don't know why I did
Yeah,
it.
why did he burn that zap? That was tough.
Yeah, maybe he
I
had
don't
the
even know what he
cycle
was trying to
target
hit.
Wait, I don't know what he's doing. Okay, Royal Ghost. The barbs will take him out for the most part. He's gonna get, I believe, that's enough health. That might be 2, but it should just be 1 swing. With
Yeah,
King
with the
Tower,
King
I think
Tower,
it's
it
only
should just be
1.
1.
No, it's 2. Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, big rip. Anyway, but that's not a huge deal. I can hound this. I'm playing a little more aggressive than I need to, but
You got a pretty
I can
sizable
do
elixir
that.
lead right now.
Yeah, yeah, that's the main thing is you get elixir leads really easy with barbs, and it's really tough for him to defend without over committing on elixir. He's gonna pekka again, so we'll Inferno Dragon. Oh, he bandits. Wow, spicing it up. Hopefully this dies, and if not, we can literally just loon over here with this, and then he's, well, obviously in a terrible spot, but we're gonna freeze everything over here, and then that way the
Oh my
pups will actually
god.
kill.
Oh, this poor guy.
And then that tower on the right, see, that's the problem with pups. I'm 2 away, which kind of sucks. 2 freezes, that is. Yes, you have to cycle freeze sometimes. But I'll probably just loon freeze. Here. I think he's gonna pekka here. No, he didn't have. Yeah, I guess he did have elixir. We'll freeze when he e-whizzes. That way, yep. Oh, I missed. No, we're good.
Good.
And then he doesn't have anything. He's a fish out of water. I mean, you can do that, but we got the stone wall barbs.
Stuff, baby. Good stuff. That was clean. That might have been against a female Clash Royale player. That was kind of sexist of you to beat her like that, Tony. Unbelievable.
I'm sorry.
Crazy. Yeah, that's right. Competition does not look at gender.
Gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah.
All right, GG's, man. Hey, I think that's gonna wrap up the video. So thank you for coming on. I'm sure you'll be back. You're a Lavahound specialist among other things, so we'll get you back on here for another deck sometime soon.
Thank you for having me, man.
Anytime. All right, hey guys, if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button. Helps me out tremendously. And also, if you have not already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. All the top decks, all the top players are going to be coming through. Mini CWA on the come up out here, since my gameplay is not top ladder. It's close, but not top. So I got to bring in some people that can really get the job done for you guys. All right. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and then drop a comment down below what deck you want to see. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.